morning, everybody. I really appreciate that. Norm comes up here, gets the New York fans all riled up around Boston, and we really had to go down that path. I'm actually not from Boston. I'm from Toronto, Canada, so as a true Canadian, I'm going to start with an apology. I'll apologize on behalf of Norm Rice for getting everybody upset, but we certainly appreciate your time. As you could tell, we really like being in front of our customers, having an opportunity to speak to all of you, show you a little bit of why we're excited about where we're going and why we're going in certain directions with our technology. So over the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to step you through the way we think about our technology, the way we think about the industry. I'm going to show you a quick demonstration just to get the juices flowing. You'll be able to go outside and see some of those demonstrations just after I conclude. So market trends, probably the right place to start. There's a lot of big things that are happening in the industry today. We sometimes use very small words or very small acronyms to describe very, very big mega trends, things like IoT and SDN. These are words that mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But what we'll try to do is bring it and level set. What are some of the trends that we really think about? We describe two edges of the network today. One edge being the access layer, where we have wired and wireless or Wi-Fi technologies. We also have the data center from hyperscale service provider down to enterprise data center capabilities as well. One of the interesting thoughts around these two edges, if you will, is which one's growing faster, right? Is it the Wi-Fi? Is it the access layer edge that's growing faster, or the data center side that's growing faster? I'd ask for a poll. I'd ask for everybody to put up their hands, but we'll save that. It's too early for the exercise. But here's the thought, or at least the premise, is that, in fact, both are growing at a very equal rate. Both are growing very rapidly for the same reason, for the exact same reason. And what is that reason? At the access layer, every single day, more users, more devices, more applications, more data is being created or consumed at the access layer. Well, where does that data go, or where does it come from? It comes from the other edge, comes from the other side of the network. And so in fact, as your access layer is growing and you're connecting all of these users and providing these amazing experiences, the other side of your network needs to be equipped to handle that growth as well. Two edges growing at the same time. In fact, as we approach 2019, one of the predictions that we make is that 2019, and don't worry, I'll come back to the topic in a second, not going off on a tangent here, but 2019 will actually be a year of hardware. We're going to hear a lot about hardware this year. There's a lot of exciting things coming. Wi-Fi 6, also known as 802.11ax, the protocol, or the next future step of Wi-Fi technologies. You'll hear about multi-rate switching capabilities at the access layer, multi-rate switching in the data center as well. Bigger and more speed available, more bandwidth. Some say feeds and speeds, but we absolutely require all of these new capabilities from a hardware perspective. Overlaid on top of it, and I'll step you through some of our thought process around the software, the applications that drive all of these great outcomes for our customers across all the verticals that we serve. But how do we leverage best of breed? One of the really fun things being in the product management team, being a leader in the product management group, is on the left side of this slide. Being able to take years and years of technology, of patents, of experience, and being able to put these things together, assemble them in a meaningful way, assemble them into new products, into new solutions, solve new problems that our competitors cannot solve today and potentially will never be able to solve. And I'll show you an example very quickly. So one of the things that is really, really exciting is not just the excitement of the individuals that have joined from the new companies, it's all the technology that we get to play with and the technology that we get to build into these fantastic solutions. We describe them as our smart OmniEdge being our unified wired and wireless technology, our cloud and our cloud applications, our automated campus technologies, and our Agile data center technologies at the end as well. So edge to edge and the interconnect in between that we call automated campus. We're going to describe each of these in much greater detail this afternoon. You'll hear a technical talk track across each one. But so not just the hardware. The hardware is very meaningful, and again, in 2019, you're going to hear a lot about new hardware, new refreshes, things to consider on why to grow your network or invest in the hardware, but different applications for different purposes and different outcomes. This is the way that we think about building our technology today. Do we need to solve the very same problem in every vertical, every type of business we sell to? No. We don't expect every customer to buy every one of our applications. We design applications to solve specific problems for our customers, whether they're locationing technologies, perhaps IoT technologies, security technologies. We want to deliver outcomes. Most of the time, when we speak of outcomes, it's end user, right? End user experience, not just in a stadium. It could be in a classroom. It could be in a healthcare organization. A patient in a bed has the very same expectation as an individual in a hotel or a student in a classroom. They want connectivity. Right? They want Netflix, they want YouTube, they want to be able to communicate to their friends and families while they're in the healthcare organization. Everywhere that you go today, people have this expectation that they'll be able to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm sure many of you here are connected to the Wi-Fi in the room. Hopefully it's working. If it's not, here's a little tip. It's not provided by us, so don't worry. Don't worry. Everybody calm down. But we have this really innate ability to, and I'm going to say, be somewhat self-centered when we go into a building, 80,000 people in a stadium. We're not really so concerned about the other people in the building, but it has to work for us. If it doesn't work, the experience fails. And so that's certainly a key focal point for CIOs, is how to deliver great experiences. But some of the other outcomes might be something related to revenue, increasing your revenue, increasing your profitability, maybe making your company more efficient, maybe making your company more secure. These are all the types of things we can do from an application standpoint to deliver these new outcomes. Let me give you a quick example of one, a brand new technology that we brought to market. It's called Defender for IoT. I'm going to give you an example here in real time. So underneath, what do we have? We have a security camera, a surveillance camera connected into the network. How many people here have surveillance cameras in your organization? Now we'll ask for a show of hands. I'm sure everybody has a surveillance camera. Probably not as many people realize that surveillance cameras today are one of the top, or let's say the most vulnerable assets in many organizations. In fact, this particular device came out of a customer's network. It had already been, it was vulnerable, it had been exploited. I'm going to show you a little example of what it looks like when it's on the network. Why don't we show a bit of an example here. This is our extreme analytics application that's actually showing in real time a lot of different data that's coming out of a purposely built security device. This security device should only have one stream, a video stream that's coming out of it, connected downstream to a video server. But in this particular case, this is a vulnerable asset. It's connecting to a bunch of different places. It's been exposed, it's been hit with malware, right? Real world. So how do we help our customers in this particular scenario? What we've built with our Defender solution, there's actually a Defender adapter, very small, fits in my pocket. What I'm going to do is interconnect this particular device. I'm going to unconnect or disconnect the camera. I'm going to plug it into this Defender adapter, and now I'm going to plug this back into the network. And as we do that, what's going to happen is this Defender adapter is actually going to provide the level of security, granular application security. Let's take a look now back at Extreme Analytics as to what's acquired. So in real time, this little box, this little Defender adapter is now only allowing this security camera that's already been hacked, it's already been exposed. It's only allowing one application through that video stream down to the video server. That's in real time, right? Real-time security. This is what we call our Defender for IoT solution with the Defender for IoT adapter. So it's just one example of the types of outcomes that we're driving for our customers through our application portfolio. The Defender solution it's actually shipping today. You can go and take a look at it just outside after this session. So let me step through just for a few minutes, give you a sense of each of our solution pillars. Smart OmniEdge. Smart OmniEdge, again, is our unified wired and wireless cloud and application delivery framework at the access layer. We describe it through three value pillars, that being intelligent, adaptive, and secure, right? Each of those have real proof points, real technologies that sit behind it. Unbelievable customers. We like to talk about the NFL. It's a great use case, a great example. The High Wire Act, if you will, for Wi-Fi connectivity, 80,000 people in a building. But you look at some of the other names up there. Ed was talking about FedEx. FedEx is another mission-critical, real-time communication requirement through their network to keep uptime and to keep packages rolling through. They rely on our smart OmniEdge technologies. We have amazing proof points in each of the verticals we play in: healthcare, mission-critical, life-critical scenarios, relying on our wired and wireless solution to always be working. We say game day is every day, a bit of an analogy from the NFL. Game day in the NFL is 3 to 4 hours a day, maybe 8 times a year, maybe longer if you get into the playoffs. A couple additional games, but it's only a couple hours. Things have to work in real time. When we think about education, when we think about retail, when we think about healthcare environments, it has to work all the time, 24 hours a day in scenarios like a healthcare scenario. It has to work, it has to be reliable. That's why customers buy from Extreme Networks. Our automated campus solution. Our automated campus is really that interconnect. Sometimes not everybody thinks about that interconnect. We get excited for access points. We get excited for big data center switches and 100 gig or 400 gig technology. But the interconnect in between. How do you connect the edge and the edge is a campus, right? An interconnect between it. Some of the technologies that we have are unique to the industry, providing hyper-segmentation and hyper-security through that network, unmatched, unlike anybody's technology in the industry today. It's actually one of the primary reasons why Extreme is a leader in the unified wired and wireless space. We have unified the data plane, not just from the access point and securing communication, but end to end as traffic enters an access point all the way through that automated campus, egressing at a defined point in your network. That's our automated campus and our secured, unified, wired, wireless technology. It's simple, secure, and intelligent. We have some amazing examples of customers that rely on this stealth technology. You see some examples up here in the healthcare market. Certainly patient privacy, HIPAA compliance is at the top of the list for healthcare providers, but many organizations require end-to-end security. You do not want to end up on the front page of any newspaper, regardless of what organization you are. Automated campus technologies help our customers provide that secure highway, the interconnect between the two edges. And then finally, our Agile data center. Our Agile data center technologies are very unique, very high performance, and very secure in terms of our, not just the security of the product itself, but secure in terms of the return on investment. And we'll talk a little bit later around some of the ASIC technologies, how an investment today can carry you forward into the future, providing visibility, automation, and adaptability for your network today and moving into tomorrow as well. A couple of great customer examples up here as well. I love the Jim Henson. Maybe I'm a sucker for Kermit the Frog, but I love their logo. Jim Henson is a great example of an enterprise customer. We have fantastic examples up into the service provider and into the hyperscale networks as well. Agile Data Center gives you the other edge of the network, end to end. When you think about these pieces, as I've described, OmniEdge, the smart OmniEdge, the automated campus, the Agile Data Center, one of the takeaways is to realize how broad our product portfolio is. Frankly, there's only one other networking vendor today on the planet with their own technology, end to end, that's as broad as Extreme Networks. That's a big statement. That's a very true statement as well. But how do we wrap all this together in a meaningful way and make it easy to manage and provide a single pane of glass? Extreme Management Center. Extreme Management Center provides, and we say here, edge to data center to cloud. Another way, as I've described it, is edge to edge or edge to cloud. The automation and orchestration, the analytics and visibility, and the granular control that our customers require. Visibility and control is always top of mind for us as we're building our products and delivering technologies and solutions for all of you. So what is the Extreme Management Center? It's a combination of a few applications that sit inside of it as part of this framework. Extreme Control. Extreme Control is our authentication and onboarding system. Some people talk about BYOD. Still a problem for many organizations, being able to understand who you are, where you are, what device you have, and then instantiate a policy or role-based access control across the access layer or into the data center as well, having control not just for the end users on this side, but also for the VMs, the servers that are connecting down in the data center. Extreme Analytics, we highlight very often our relationship with the NFL, where we started a number of years ago, became the official Wi-Fi analytics provider on top of the official Wi-Fi provider for the NFL. But Extreme Analytics, where we started in the stadium technologies, moved very rapidly into the enterprise space. Many enterprise customers are investing in Extreme Analytics for the visibility, the harvesting of information that comes from this data highway that you build. There's really little reason to put cars down the highway if you can't look inside those cars and see the people inside and see their enjoyment as they're going down the highway. That's a great analogy for what Extreme Analytics does. As packets are moving down your network, we can open the doors and see what's happening inside, the quality of experience through the Extreme Analytics tool. Extreme Management itself is the overall single pane of glass that you would actually see. Again, demonstrations outside. You can see everything end to end on your network, from the access points, the switches, the automated campus, all the way down to the data center. And one new piece of technology that we delivered about a year ago, the Information Governance Engine. This is a posture assessment tool that helps our customers understand exactly the posture, the configuration, if you will, of all the switches and access points, so that you really have assurance that your network is functioning correctly, but securely based on the recommendations that we make. So end to end, you have this single pane of glass. We wrap it with a Connect API. That Connect API allows us to do two things, really, northbound and southbound. Southbound allows you to program into the network. Northbound allows us to actually send data out of the network. We have a lot of great integrations with Extreme Management Center through the Connect API. Some examples would be a system like Palo Alto Firewalls, a great partner of ours, that we interconnect our network infrastructure with their firewall technology so that we can blend together role-based access control and security end-to-end as users are coming on the access layer. We program right through the network and include it out to the Palo Alto Firewall. Just one example. We have many other examples that we can bring together with the Connect API. And so hopefully I've given you a pretty good overview of how we think about our products, our technologies, end to end, how we build, what we build, and why we build. Probably most importantly, this is the way that we think about our technologies. This is the way that we think about solving problems for each one of our customers in a unique manner, from the hardware, the high-performing hardware that you're going to hear us launching in 2019, to the entire application framework that sits on top of it, delivering all these unique outcomes, and hopefully delivers these fantastic experiences, not to all the network administrators, not just to all the network administrators, but to all the users of the networks that are connected to Extreme technology. So with that, I'm going to hand back to Norm, and I thank all of you for coming today. Thank you.